this video, I would like to help you work through Lesson 11 of the third beginner level of the Piano Skills Foundation series of piano lessons. You're getting close to the end here of our beginner levels. Congratulations if you've made it this far. I hope you've enjoyed it. In the next one, in this lesson, we're not going to do anything too exciting. We're going to do your scales, arpeggios, all that stuff. Of course, you understand on these videos, if you feel like you know what to do and how to do it, you can skip any part of the video. It's not like somebody's going to grade you on whether you watched it or not. But the only thing new are some strange reading exercises. I think you'll find the reading exercises to be a little more interesting and strange this week. So I hope you have fun with it and practice with a good attitude, and you should be able to make even more progress this week. Good luck. Okay. So the first thing on our list, as usual, are exercises. The scale, arpeggio, cadence, and burlesque. I'm going to do it in all 6 keys. And of course, to save time, I'm going to be going much faster than you should be going. As a quick example, just to remind you, you should be going maybe on your scale 2 beats of the metronome for every 1 note that you play, like this. So you are essentially playing half notes. I'm going to be playing quarter notes on my scale. Okay? And then when I do the arpeggios, I'm going to double that. I'm going to be playing 1/8 notes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? You could be either doing quarter notes or half notes. It doesn't matter. Go as slow as you need to. Your quarter notes would sound like this. Let's see. Or your half notes could be. All right? You go as slow as you need to feel like it's easy. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate all 6 keys. You'll be doing 2 or 3 keys per day and sort of rotating through them, all right? So here goes. The key of E. Sorry about that. Got a little bit of sloppy there. By the way, you should still maybe do your cadences hand separately first, but I'm going to do them together. I didn't show you the burlesque at a slower speed would be. Okay, so of course you can take it at a speed you're more comfortable with. Now onto the key of A. Let's see, the key of A. Oh yeah, I know what that looks like. Everybody should have a picture of the scale in their mind. See that? That's the key of A. So that's one of the things you're accomplishing by doing all these things in different keys. You're getting a good picture of every key. So here's the key of A. D is next. Oh, sorry. I almost went too fast. the key of G. Oh, I'm going half that fast. It's so tempting. The key of C. Cadence. Oh my goodness, I goofed. Now the key of F with a little bit different fingering. Sorry, I keep wanting to go faster. Trying to goof around and I missed a note. Anyway, that is your scale, arpeggio, cadence, and burlesque in 6 different keys. Good luck with that. Okay, so the next thing on your list, if you're still doing these, the tune. We're going to do the tune green sleeves. I'm going to demonstrate it. But no, I don't think I'm going to go all the way up to 120 because I think it might be too hard for you to follow the fingerings. There's some tricky fingerings in this one. So I'll put the metronome up at 104. And I'll just play through. It's up to you to break it down, of course, as usual. Just stop and start the video. Do one phrase at a time if you're still trying to get it learned. The fingerings, as I said, are a little tricky, so let's see if I can get them. That was the key of A minor. The next one is the key of D minor. Sorry. and that was the key of D minor. Now the key of E minor is next, and you have to just watch this, the exact same fingerings, but it sometimes feels differently because of the way the black notes fall. That was Greensleeves in 3 different keys: A minor, D minor, and E minor. Good luck with that. So, the first reading exercise on lesson 11 is a tune called Straight Ahead. And this tune is a little different, and I want to show you what I did. I wrote big parentheses around this so you can see the phrasing, and I think you should do the same thing, because normally when we practice, we do one line at a time, because a line is a phrase, a musical phrase, or a sentence. So we usually just do this line, then this line, then this line. But on this one, the first line is the only one that's not broken up. The first line, you can put big parentheses around to mark it. But the second line goes even further. The second phrase, I should say, goes through the first line and then into the second line. So I put a big parenthesis to mark that, along with this parenthesis over here, so you can see that that phrase goes down to this point. Okay, in the third line. Then the next musical phrase is going to start here, so I put a big parenthesis, and then you will do that to there, and then the last line is broken up like this. So if you can go through and do your big parentheses to mark your phrasing, it helps you see how to practice it. So I'm going to start here today, and I'm going to go nice and slow. Eventually this thing will be up to 120, but we're going to go really slow when we first learn this, like at 8. Let's try 80. So interestingly, you're going to be in the key of what we call D minor. We haven't talked about that, but all you need to know is look out for the B flats. And the right hand starts out in bass clef. So, and actually, let's see, the right hand is in bass clef for almost the whole thing. Only on the third line do you go a little bit into treble clef. But so I just wanted to see that you have to be a little bit flexible when it comes to working with the clefs. The right hand part is in bass clef, and here's middle C, so you're down here. And you're going to staccato the first note, which means short, and then the second note is longer. It's got what we call a tenuto or marcato marking on it, that little line. That means just sort of make that one long and emphasize it a little bit. See that? I staccato the first note and then hold that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the right hand by itself all the way to the first note here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, B flat, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Okay, and the melody comes in there. 4 and 1. Okay, do that till you have the right hand learned. The left hand is an octave lower than that. So here's middle C, left hand's all the way down here. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 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 1. Once you get the left hand and the right hand worked on, do them both together, and it sounds like this. Excuse me. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 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 1. So that is the first line. You would do that until you get it 3 perfect. And then let's move on to the second line. Now, when you do the second line, I like to include the pickup notes from the previous line. So I'm going to start here on beat 4. Right hand, 5 fingers on A. We're going to go 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1. So you'll notice I went from here, from the pickup all the way through to here. Okay, and there's nothing on, there's a rest right when we get to that spot. So I went to measure 10. Okay, so hopefully you can sort of start up the video to make sure you're doing it correctly with the right hand. And let's do the left hand the same way. Left hand's going to start with the pickup note on beat 4. 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and then pedal. All right, so I stopped there, I brought in the pedal. Hopefully you noticed a little finger switch on the same note. We played E with the 5th finger and then E with the 4th. You're going to have to do that, and try to do that without looking, all right? I mean, without looking down at your hand, because this is a music reading exercise. So now, both hands together once you get them learned separately, and it goes like this. 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and then pedal. Okay? Yes, I know this is a little bit weird tune, but hopefully you can enjoy doing something different. As you practice this with me on the video, you'll notice that I'm going pretty fast. I think that as you first start this, you probably should be going quite a bit slower. It's always the case with these videos. I'm trying to make sure they're not too long, so if we go too slow. But like if you did that phrase that we just played at a nice slow, let's say 60, it would sound like this. So forth. I just wanted to show you that don't feel bad about starting much slower, okay? But I'm gonna start at 88 and do the next line after you've done, of course, 3 perfect on this one and this one. You're gonna put those two together. And now, this is interesting. We have a spot in this piece where music reading is going to evolve into music memorizing. I would suggest you memorize these 2 measures. And it's not very hard. You don't have to do much hand separate here because they alternate. It's similar to your arpeggios on your exercises. So we're going to do left, right, left, and then the left hits a single note and then you come down. It's similar to your arpeggios, except you only play 2 notes instead of 3. So instead of doing a whole chord like this, you're going to just do the outside notes like this. Okay? So here's how that 2 measure stretch goes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, now, whoops, I goofed on that. I'll show it to you again here in a second. But what I want to show you is I'm pushing the pedal down, and then I'm going to go right to there. So really what we can do is sort of chop this thing into a workable 2 measure section that you play over and over until you have it memorized, because you need to look down at the keys for the hand over hand stuff. So this is a combination of mostly music reading and just 2 measures of memorize. Let's give it a try. I'll do that better this time. It goes like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. You have to finish with a 4th and a 2nd finger there. Okay? Let me do that really slow once. It goes like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay? And oh, I landed on the wrong finger. I should have landed with my 2nd finger. Okay? So let me practice that one more time. And this is, of course, what you'll be doing. And you don't, a lot of the times these videos, I leave out all those times where you make mistakes and you have to retry. This time you get to see me do it. I'm going to do it one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay? Now, so practice that till you have that memorized and can do it. And then practice the rest of that phrase. I'm going to move this back up to 88. Right hand by itself on this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. All right, so I just completed the last 2 measures of that phrase. Left hand does the same thing after you've got the right hand learned. It goes 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 1. Okay, so now that made it there. Once you get that one so that you can play it, and you can maybe just do that little segment 3 perfect, then try the whole phrase 3 perfect, and it goes like this. Let me drop it down again to our nice slow 60. Here's the whole phrase is 60. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and, okay, so now that was at a nice slow 60. Let me do that one more time up at our 88 so you can tell eventually where you're going to be headed, and then even work faster than that sometime, but here it is. Sorry, I think I bumped the tripod on that one, so your whole camera probably shook, but hopefully that won't happen again. 1 and 2 and 3 and that, of course, the little memorized segment, your eyes can be on the keys, but then as soon as you get here, get your eyes back up on the music, okay? So now, if you've gotten 3 perfect on that one, try playing through all 3 phrases. And then the last phrase is very similar to the first, so it shouldn't be too hard. Let's do the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4. 1 pedal, 2, 3, and then boom. You'll notice I put an 8 VA symbol below the note, so I go down an octave and play it down here instead of here, okay? Then the left hand in a similar fashion. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4, and pedal, 2, 3, 4, 1, okay? Now we're going to do both hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. I don't know if I use the right fingers. Oh, I put a thumb and a 5 at the end. It really does not matter what you do on the last note for fingering, whatever feels comfortable to you. So after you get 3 perfect there, do the whole piece. Now on this particular piece, I want to show you what it's going to sound like at our 88, and then I want to play it up to 120 to just show you if you want to try to get it up to that speed, what it would sound like. So here it is at 88, the whole piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that was straight ahead at 88. And I was hoping you might notice I was doing what is called dynamics musical shaping. I started softer, this is medium soft, and I was growing up to forte. Of course, that's loud. And then I came back down to a little soft in between, some forte. So listen to the musical shaping. See if you can do some of that now that you're becoming a better music reader. Now let me show it to you at 120. This is what it would sound like if you get it up to the tempo that I suggest. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 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 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so that was your reading piece straight ahead. Good luck with that. All right, for your second reading piece, we have a piece that I'm going to do some moving around with chords, and you're going to see these chords sort of jumping. They do not ever jump much further than just a step. So what I'm expecting you to try is keep your eyes on the music even though your hand is moving. We've got to teach your hands how to do a little bit of moving around without looking down at the hands. So keep in mind that this is a music reading exercise, so your eyes stay on the keys. Your eyes stay on the music, and you're going to count it out loud the whole time. I'm going to put the metronome at 80 to practice it. Of course, you can start slower, but let's go ahead and do the top all the way down. The first line is this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1. Okay, so practice that right hand. You can go slower if you need to. Keep your eyes on the music while you do it. The left hand is pretty simple. In fact, after I play one measure, I'm going to just show you it's the same thing all the way. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you just keep on doing that back and forth all the way until you play this on the next line. Okay, we don't have to waste a lot of time with that. Let's do both hands on the top line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? So you can tell I was just trying to make it simple with the left hand so you can focus on getting that right hand. And now it switches a little bit on the next line. So after you get your 3 perfect here, try this line. I will play the right hand because there's a little more to it here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so I just played the right hand to there. Now the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that'll be fun for you to try to get without looking down at your hand. And then, once you get good at it with the left hand, put the hands together. And it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay? Now, after you've gotten 3 perfect on that, put those 2 lines together. We're going to go ahead and practice this line, right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1. That is the biggest jump in the piece, from this chord all the way up here. So from C jumping up to F, see if you can train your hand how to do that without looking down. That would be awesome. Once you get it, the left hand is simple. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the rest of the piece until we get down to here. So just back and forth between those 2. I don't need to do it all. We're going to put them together now. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay. Now, when you do a pattern like this, and the composer doesn't tell you whether to play short notes or smooth notes, you got a choice. That time I played it detached. Let me show you what it sounds like if you play them smooth. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so you can decide which one you like better. If you like to play the left hand smooth, go for it. If you're not, just play it detached. So anyway, after you get your 3 perfects, put those 3 lines together. And now I'm going to do the right hand by itself on the bottom line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, I should have held it all the way. Sorry about that. But you do it and get that right hand learned. Now the left hand, as usual, doing this pattern, but I'll play it once all the way through so you can see the ending. It goes 1, 2. I'll play a smooth. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Of course, you can keep your eye on the keys for this jump. If you want to look down and see if you can get that, or if you want the challenge of trying to find that low note down an octave without looking at your hand, go for it. Okay, there's nothing to keep you from giving it a try. But now let's go ahead and do both hands. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. And that was the last line. So now I'm going to play through the whole thing. Let's do it once at this nice slow 80, and then I'll move it up to the top speed of the week. So this is what it sounds like at 80. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. And now I'm going to do the whole thing again, but at our top speed. If you want to work up to it, I put 144 as the top speed. So if you can get it up to the top speed, fine. If not, don't worry about it. Just work on getting it smoothly through and try to keep your eyes on the music. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to play short left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Oops, chord incorrectly. Let me try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. That was a little bit better. Anyway, that was your chord jumper reading exercise. Good luck with that, and have fun. So, for your learn and memorize work today, we're going to do the Minuet in F, of course, which you probably, hopefully you have kind of the whole thing memorized already. Today I'm going to go back and work on the first 3 lines again, but I'm going to start using the metronome. So you'll notice on your practice guide that there's a metronome reading of 66 to 88. I'm going to just start it at 66 so you can hear what that's going to sound like, and you can work your way up this week. But I'm going to do the first 3 lines starting with these 2. I'm going to actually work from the 3rd line and work our way up, which is a great way to practice. It's a little bit odd starting in this spot, and you'll see what that sounds like, but it's good for your memory to not start at the beginning every time. So here I go, starting on measure 11. 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, and I want to point out right at the beginning, I tend to count out loud on these videos, but when you're doing your memorized pieces, you do not have to be counting out loud once you've got that rhythm in your head and you've got it memorized. I always want you counting out loud on reading exercises, but not on your memorized pieces, okay? You don't have to do it all the time. When I count on the video, I'm just trying to make sure you hear and understand the rhythm. Anyway, let's do the left hand now. You already done the right hand? 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So make sure that's memorized, which means, of course, you can do it without looking at the music. Now I'm going to put the hands together. 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. And I just want to point out one thing, too. When I'm playing these long notes at the end of these phrases where you have a long note followed by a shorter note, that is a place where you want to do strong on the first note and then soft on the second one to do a little bit of nice musical shaping so it sounds beautiful at the ends. So start paying attention to that as well when you're practicing. Anyway, go ahead and do 3 perfects there, and then we'll work on the first half of that line. 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1. That's the right hand, and then the left hand is really difficult. 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1. Once you've got that well memorized, both hands. 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1. Okay. After 3 perfect there, the whole line with a stop like this. 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, stop. And then 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Of course, after you've done it with a stop, do the whole thing 3 perfect with no stops. I'm just going to do it once for you. 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. All right, and then let's move on to the next line. And this is the one that has the 2 measure stretch with a repeat sign. So we're going to practice it right hand by itself to there, and then right hand by itself to there. I want you to be able to do it both ways. So we're going to do it first without the repeat. Triplet 2, 3. Switch fingers. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, and now I'm going to do it again and go back to the beginning. Triplet 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, and you don't have to connect from this to there. You can jump. Now, after you've made sure that you're well memorized there, left hand does this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then there. Okay, so I went to the first note here. Now I'm going to do it again and go back to the beginning. So it goes triplet 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, that's what it looks like when you take the repeat. Now let's do both hands. The first time I'll do it with straight through, not repeating, and it goes like this: triplet 2. 1. And now I'm going to do it again and take the repeat, which goes triple 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, and now after you've done 3 perfect there, you could do 3 perfect to the repeat, or sorry, 3 perfect through and 3 perfect to the repeat. And then you're going to do the first half of that line, right hand, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, trip, and then the left hand. 1, 2, switch fingers. 1, 2, 3, same note. 1. That's going to be hard to have memorized, right? Now let's do both hands. 1, oh, sorry, second finger here. 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. Trip. And then once you've gotten your 3 perfect there, let's do the whole line. Let's do it with a stop, not taking the repeat. So I'm going to stop and then play to there. And then when I go straight through for the first perfect one, I'm going to go to the repeat, right? So let's try this. 1 and 2, second finger. 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. Stop. Triple it. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. Now I'm going to, after you do it with a stop, go through the whole line, and I'm going to take the repeat on this one. 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. Triple it. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. And of course, you could do 3 perfect to the repeat, and then 3 perfect to there if you want, or just like 1 of each or 2 of each. Doesn't matter. And then, of course, the cool thing is after you've done your 3 perfect here, you can get your 3 perfect and just keep going all the way. Okay, so practice every line. I'm going to go ahead and move up to the next one, the top line. Right hand, third finger here. 1 and 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so that takes us to the first note there. Left hand, after you made sure your right hand is well memorized, left hand is 1 and 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. And then once you're solid on the memory there, both hands. 1 and 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. After you've done your 3 perfect with those 2 measures, the first 2 measures. Right hand, 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3, 1. And then after that's well memorized, left hand, 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3, 1. Okay, now I'm going to do both hands for 3 perfects. Well, you'll do 3, I'll do 1. 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3, 1. Okay, and of course, after you've done your 3 perfect there, do the whole line with a stop in the middle like this. 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. 1. Stop, and then 1 and 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. And then, of course, you're going to do that whole line without the stop in the middle. 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. 1. Now, since it's my 3rd perfect, I would just keep going. Sorry about the fingering, I goofed. 1 and 2, 3. Triple it. 2, 3. 1, 2. Then take the repeat. 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2. So I just went through, since it was our 3rd perfect, just kept right on playing, took the repeat and everything. Now, you'll notice on your practice guide that I suggest you try to get up to 88-ish. Let's hear what that sounds like. And I'm just going to do the first 3 lines. Next time we'll do the whole piece with the metronome, but just so you hear at 88, the first 3 lines. This will be the completion of your practice for one particular day. So that was your practice on the first 3 lines. And of course, if you feel like you want to, you could go on and do the other 3 lines too, but I'll show you that in the next lesson. So once you've gotten all the way through your lesson 11 practice guide for a week or two, go ahead and move on to lesson 12. But good luck with that.